Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Are we good to go? I think we are good to go. Islam, Islam, Islam. We are here. We are here. We are here. Allah willing. Hopefully everything is operating as it should be. Right? Islam, I am Sister Tahida S. Najiola L. of CalifaMedia.com. More RiseOfTheMoors.org and com, mrcicharities.org and com, and CertifiedMoorish.org and com. Welcome to the weekly, turning out to be weekly Friday roundup. All right, Islam. I'm here, y'all here. We're here to discuss, I'm here to share some stuff that I've noticed throughout this week, because it does wear you down. I'll call it a week because it does wear you down. And stuff that I've noticed that I think might be of interest to the Moors, and also to share national news, like what's going on with us, because where else do we have to go for that news? If you have anywhere we can go for that, like where can I tune in to find out what Moors are doing, right? And how can I be down? If you could please share that. And this is being filmed on Instagram Live today, Friday. What is this? May 2nd, 2025. Okay. And it's slated to be posted to YouTube on Sunday, the following Sunday. I post these on Fridays at 6 p.m. or start these on Friday at 6 p.m. So Moors will have something to discuss at their temple meetings or to consider over the weekend. And then they're posted to YouTube if you missed it on Friday. So you'll have something at 1 p.m. So you'll have something to discuss or, ruminate over for Sunday school, before Sunday school, which is usually held at 2 p.m. I think I got that out the way. All right. And of course, I have my notes because why? I respect your time. All right. So again, happy holy day. I am Sister Tahida Najiola L. All right. So this session, right? Brief outline. I want to cover a couple of things because I thought I would interject instead of like, oh, this is what I got going on and this is what I got for sale. Okay. What else is going on in the world, right? In fact, let me make sure y'all can see what I got for sale. Because, whatever. Anyway, so this week, what happened yesterday, 2 days ago, April 30th was the anniversary, I guess the 50th. It's the 50th anniversary of the fall of Saigon. April 30th, 1975, Saigon fell, right, to a bunch of tiny Asians in flip-flops who refused to go down. But I'll get into that later. Other things that are being covered: stockpiling fireworks. What could go wrong? Yes, this country is stockpiling fireworks, and you're going to be interested to learn why. So yeah, hold on for that. What would that work in China? Okay, this is all the stuff I'm going to be covering. Anniversary of the fall of Saigon. Stockpiling fireworks. What could go wrong? Right? Would that work in China? And give us Barabbas, the topic of tonight's sharing. And when I'm done, I won't make this too long. If y'all want to chime in, I just want to get my thoughts out. And if you all want to chime in and get your thoughts out, please do so. All right, Islam. So, Islam to all those who are tuning in and all who will see this later on. I won't keep y'all long. I'm going to turn this light off because it's a little bright and it's hurting my eye. Oh, yeah, that's way better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, Islam. So, first, product and service announcements. Someone asked me earlier this week, when are we getting back isonomy back in stock? Isonomy is now back in stock, okay? You can order it here through, Meta, whatever. You can order it through Meta, or you can order it through Amazon, or you can order it through the website. I don't charge tax because of the way my business is set up. I don't collect taxes, so I don't charge taxes. I don't remit taxes to the state. So you get it tax exempt because of it's a gift to you. It's a holy book. That's a holy-ish book. This is a gift to you. And you get goodies direct from CalifaMedia.com, right? Also back in stock, the hardcover
hardcover Holy Koran, Circle 7 of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. This is the hardcover hardcover version of the 1926 edition. I just put it in hardcover. So if you want something that'll last longer, because Moors do be wearing their books out, and if you want something where you can like write in it the way some people, I won't say Christians because they're not the only ones that use the Bible, but the way some people use the Bible, they write their lineage, family happenings, events, and all that. They recorded in that. So now that's why it's hardcover, because it's hopefully you ain't like doing that much where you can rip off a hardbound book, right? And this one has N on it just because this is mine, and the N stands for Nagiola, right? So if you want that, let me know. Get in touch with me at Califa Media or editor@califamedia.com. Also in stock, don't forget, Hidden in Plain Sight. Okay? By Kush Day, available all over or in shop on califamedia.com, tax free. Okay, so that's that. I did that. Okay, next is the Phoenix meetup. Okay, that's this upcoming. Today is the 2nd, so what? In less than a week, that's what's up. I'll be on this time next week, Allah willing. I'll be presenting from a restaurant, waiting on my order. From where are we going? Nana's Kitchen. It's some Texas woman who opened up a vegan restaurant in Texas, and she branched out, and now she has a location in Phoenix or Chandler, Arizona. And I'm going to be there this Friday if y'all want to, if you in that area, with a whole bunch of other Moors, including Grand Sheik Cujo L and Reggie Moore, who's the beacon or the host, because he lives out there. All right. So all the details for that are on califamedia.com and riseofthemoors.org/Phoenix Rising. And that's one word. All right. And if you order something through the shop, right, and you're going to be at this event, go ahead and order it and let me know you're going to be there, and I'll refund your postage and I'll just bring it to you. All right. So yeah. Other announcements real quick. Just 2 more. Just this one and 1 more. Educated Ear. I'm going to push that one because I offer like talking to people. I help people talk things out. I should show y'all my chart one day and to show y'all like, wow, I can actually help you. Because I got a lot of 8th house placements. And if you know astrology, 8th house means stuff that's buried, right? I have the sun and Jupiter there. So I can big time help you shine the light on stuff that's buried in you. Educated Ear. And I have a pretty good education, right? I have 2 degrees degrees in more than one form of history, a certification in Asian and Pacific American studies. I have a shadow paralegal thing. I took the class for somebody. You know, it's like, fine, I'll take the class. You know, you want the money, because it was on, what was that? They wanted the financial aid. It's like, I wonder which one will last longer. Which one is a better investment. Go ahead, you take the check. I will definitely take the knowledge. And I got honors in that class. I think I did pretty good, right? So, and also, yeah, I don't know why it matters. I have a certification in bookkeeping. I don't know if that could come in handy, but it's there. All right. So yeah, Educated Ear is there. And hopefully this Moore won't mind if I shout him out real quick. I'm not going to say names. I had an appointment this week because I talk to people. You can go on the site and make an appointment to talk about make sure your business that you're setting up is faith-based. You can help build on whatever you have, right? Those are 2 different things. And then this one is like, well, I don't need either one of those. Can I just talk to you about something? Sure. Educated Ear. And this brother shared, I'm going to put it out there and hopefully he'll see it, but I'm definitely going to bring it up to him later. He was like, I wonder if I have a case. I think he knew he had a case, but he didn't know like to what extent he had a case, right? And after our conversation, I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad you talked to me, because I had to keep cutting him off, because it's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Where was this part? Where was this part? Every question I was asking him was a cause of action, right? And this Moore did everything right. But because I made that available, come talk to me. I'm gonna help you find something in yourself. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna help you do it, right? And so now, brother, I've been thinking about it over the course of a few days, and I think I know what happened. And it has something to do with maritime law, big time. And it's just like, remember Dr. York and how he was able to set up that community in Eatonton? I'm gonna leave it at that. All right. Anyway, so that's the educated ear, available at califamedia.com/contact us. Last thing, certified Moorish toolkit. Please get that, because this country is collapsing, and that is prophesied that all wheels of industry in the United States will stop turning, and then it's going to, when they start up again, it's going to be in our favor. Will you be ready for that, right? Or will you be getting ready and getting smoked by the people who were just like, they were at the finish line, and you just found that you just now seeing the poster for the race? Really? So you can do that if you want, right? And yeah, Moors, thank you all for supporting the ones who have obtained this kit, because I've been getting feedback. Also, if you have obtained it, real quick, a brother let me know there was a typo in the instructions, right? And that made me go back and look at everything. And I found a couple of more typos. You can still use, I've been using it with those typos in there the whole time. So, but I don't want, any like glitches or hitches or nothing like that. No chinks. So everything's been corrected. So if you go get it now, you get the corrected version that's been proofread. If you had the version before this announcement today, please contact me and I will send you the coupon code to go and download the updated version for free. Or I can just send it to you directly. But it's just easier if you just download it for me, because it's right there. I just got to send you like a couple of letters instead of like trying to none of that. Actually, I'll just send it to you. So watch your email. I'll just send it to y'all. Watch your email. Keep it simple. All right. So that's that. Now for the news and the news part that made me be like, I want to talk about Barabbas this week, right? Because we still immersed in the fumes of this past Good Friday. And the 3 days, there were actually 2 days in the tomb that they call Easter, and then the day after death of their satanic representative on earth. All right, he's their God's representative on earth, right? And based on their behavior, I'm going to safely presume that their God is not the same one that I worship. All right. So anyway, to the fall of Saigon, the news that got me thinking about Barabbas. Okay. What is this? 12/20. So this week, this past Wednesday, today's Friday, so 2 days ago, was the 50th anniversary of the fall of Saigon in Vietnam. Okay. They say it was the communists fighting against the nationalists. It was the communists fighting against the colonists, or the nationalists fighting against the colonists, because the people claiming to be nationalists were trying to keep the Europeans in control. Okay. I have a degree, one of my degrees, like I said, Asian and Pacific American studies. So yeah, I know about the history of Micronesia. It's like crazy, the stuff I know, like how the Al-Qaeda roots come from Indonesia. Yeah, I blew my professor away with that one. I'm gonna have to share that one with you one day. But anyway, so I just was like, yeah, that's cool. Right? This is the anniversary of those people saying, you ain't gonna do us like you did those Moors in America. We're actually willing to die for the bones in the ground. That's what they said. That's why they fought the way they did. If you're wondering, like, dang, I know they were getting help from the other communists in China and Russia, allegedly. But dang, they were up against the people. They took the chance of being nuked, which makes you wonder why they didn't just nuke them. It makes you wonder, why didn't y'all just nuke them? Now that I think about it. But they fought them. The Vietnamese fought tooth and nail, quote, for the bones in the ground. We will not surrender and let our people be just trampled on anymore, right? The Chinese got a version. They called it the century of humiliation, right? And the response of both of these countries, just because they refuse to be held down by foreigners and the people assisting them. Look at China nowadays. The United States is attacking them. That's about to be a war because you're messing with these cave beast money. That whole Cortez, The European has a hole in his heart that only gold can fill. Okay? So anyway, that's there. So I want to call attention to that because that's something we need to be like just looking at. I'm not saying emulate them because me personally, I really do think we're just here to witness. It's just like what happened before when our people were taken out of captivity. They just had to be moved, right? They had to believe and trust that it was going to happen, and then it just happened, right? That kind of thing. So this is not a call to arms. This is a call to observe and see if you can find anything of use, right? The other thing about, oh, no, I'm going to move on. Would that work in China? Real quick. Would that work in China? New segment. Would that work in China? Because I find that Moors have a hard time understanding what they are and are not allowed to do on land that they recognize as theirs. If you find me, you know you're a Moor because you know I'm not going to sit here and explain and try to convince you you are what you are. I don't have time for that. I'm here for the Moors who know they're Moors. I'm here to assist you all, right? So I'm saying to help these Moors who might come across me, right? Because I don't have patience. I don't have the patience for missionary work. My thing is when you have a question, if you need detail, go to Cujo. He likes that detail. I don't, right? I'm just going to tell you, would it work in China? Okay. Here's examples. All right. A brother came to me and said, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but basically he said, how can I be safe here with the paperwork? I'm like, it doesn't matter because the paperwork is going to be controlled by us in a minute anyway. Use South Africa as an example. When they got however it looks like they got control of their stuff again. The Zulus and the Xhosa, they got their stuff back. That's what it's appearing to be. Did they just wipe the slate clean and issue all new documents, or did they just replace the people filing those documents? So why are you complicating this? Okay. Would a Chinese person have to ask, how do I get around these foreigners in China? I'm going to keep coming back to that. Would that work in China? Here's why. And this goes into the news. The colonists, right? And they're invading sycophants, the ones who kiss their behind so they can stay here robbing us. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news, but they're stockpiling fireworks. What could go wrong? Stockpiling fireworks. What could in the middle of summer? What could go wrong? Why are they stockpiling fireworks? Foreigners and their kiss asses are stockpiling fireworks to make sure that they have enough for next year's 4th of July. Why next year? Why not this year? Next year is their 250th anniversary. Do you think they'll make it? I need to borrow some feet so we can stick them out and trip these folks up for real. Do you think they're going to make it? Look at the past 100 days of Trump being in charge. Do you think they're going to make it to next year with this same dude in charge? They're stockpiling fireworks. Does that sound like a good idea to you? It doesn't sound like a good idea to me. It's like, well, we got precautions in place. You're stockpiling explosives to celebrate your independence that you established on somebody else's land. Okay, so there's that. All right. Okay, the next part, would that work in China? And this goes to our neighbors to the north. Because I recently shared a photo of the propaganda photo issued by the Axis powers during World War II, wherein they show what North America's map would look like when the Axis, the Nazis and the Japanese and the fascists in Italy, if they won the war. They put up a map to show what it would look like if they won. And they had the United States, so-called, broken up with all these weird names that alluded to being ruled by Japan and Germany and Italy, right? And then in Canada, they didn't have their names up there. It just said barbarians. Do with that what you want. If you can figure out why they calling the people up there barbarians, that's really funny. But they left them alone, so there's a plus. Anyway, Canada, news for our neighbors to the north. Okay. There are now, after they just had an election up there. Okay. There are now more Sikh parliamentarians in Canada following this recent election than there are in India. There are more Sikh parliamentarians in Canada than there are in India. Would that work in China? Would some Sikhs be able to go to China and get into their parliament at all? Something's wrong, okay? And this is why I'm thinking about Barabbas. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So how is it you were able to do way more on land that you admit you're so proud to be foreigners? You're so proud to be a nation of immigrants, and but you can't do it at home. We should be outraged. I personally think we should be ashamed, but I'm doing my part, right? I'm trying to get more into business so we will have bargaining power. We'll have leverage, okay? Even though we already do just by virtue of being Moors, but how do you prove that? How do you prove that you're a grown-up, right? You're responsible. You're in charge of something, right? And in this day and age, I guess since the beginning of time, just because the Europeans make it look disgusting and like something you don't want to be bothered with, we established commerce, right? It's actually in a little tangent. Commerce is actually mentioned in the Bible. I cannot remember what portion, because I used to have just the Koran, of Muhammad, the one in Arabic. I used to just have that mug on loop, playing on a podcast. And it said that Allah shows you Allah's favor, because I'm not going to say he or she. Allah shows you Allah's favor by your success in commerce. So if you're doing the right thing, as in what you're doing for business, and you're doing the right thing with that business, and like, how do you take care of your fellow man? Allah will show you how pleased Allah is by making that business flourish. Testify. That's all I'm going to say, which is why Certified Moorish Toolkit is out there. I'm just saying, okay? You need to come with something. You can't just show up. Well, we should just be able to do that. But it's just like my daughter keeps saying, I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown woman. She's 8. I don't know why she's doing this. I just tell her, well, here's the qualifications of a grown woman from a grown woman. Here's the qualifications to be participating in the affairs of men by those who are currently participating in the affairs of men. And right now, that involves commerce. How do you conduct yourself, right? And move stuff around. How do you move resources around? Okay, are you a good provider, or are you just a consumer? Can't be children are consumers. Okay, all right. And back to that Sikh thing, I'm wondering why they doing better than us on our own land. And you can't use that black thing as an excuse. It just include politics. This goes to business as well. All right. And how did they even get into those positions? They established themselves commercially first and then established themselves politically. We already got the political part on lock, because you can't lock me out. Part and parcel, not partial. Part and parcel. You can't lock me out unless I let you. So there's the other side of that, though. Okay. Oh, the last part. And then I'm going to get to Barabbas and I'm going to be done. Documented foreigners, aka United States citizens, are fighting for the rights of undocumented foreigners to stay here. I don't know if you all see what's going on behind that. No, you're trying to keep, they keep saying it's going to be a slippery slope. It's going to be a slippery slope. And I can't help but notice how they keep saying, if black folks ain't careful and say something about this, we're going to be on our way to San Salvador next. And I'm just sitting here like, don't y'all think if they could have gotten rid of us by now, they would have? Liberia. What was Liberia? If you are not familiar with Liberia, because I actually met a Liberian professor who claimed to not know what I was talking about, right? Liberia, where they set up a colony, a United States colony in Liberia. No, they did not ask, okay? And they shipped a bunch of slaves, former slaves, over there with the assistance of a whole bunch of former Confederates who wanted these people out. They funded this. They set up a bank, sold bonds. It's a whole history. Look it up. Ask ChatGPT, what do you know about Liberia and the United States trying to ship out slaves, trying to deport slaves? Why are we still here? It's a big old long history. It resulted in a civil war. You can't call it a civil war because These were Americans fighting Africans. Okay. I wonder if, I don't know what part of, let me see, what country would that really be? It's Liberia. See, this is why you keep maps around. Give me a second. It's Liberia. Okay, I know it's in the west. Okay, so it's between Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. Right? So, yes, it's maybe it's like, what is that? Washington, D.C. has its piece of Maryland and Virginia. So, yeah. And, the capital was Monrovia, named after President Monroe. Did that work? Like I said, if they could have gotten rid of us, they would have by now. So we're not next. But I find it interesting. Y'all see a slippery slope, but you're trying to drag us into it to give it power that maybe your stupidity will succeed. They're going to deport United States citizens next. That's fine with me. Bye. That's part. I'm indigenous, parcel. That sounds like a you problem. Anyway, so my thing is, with all this stuff going on, these mugs fighting, talking about who gets to stay, who gotta go, right? Who can ship stuff, who can get stuff but past our ports without a fee, and who that fee is going to. Okay? I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a shutdown. Thank goodness, the prophet, he left all these prophecies and hadiths. He left the Koran. He left everything it takes to save a nation, save yourself. You're going to have to save yourself. You really will. And if you save yourself, you'll be making, you'll definitely be putting yourself in a position to save others if that's your choice. Just by setting up a business, give people a way out, right? I think they say, that's this month, May 15th, if I have the day correct. I'm going to get to the Barabbas part in a second. May 15th. The Trump administration is going in front of the Supreme Court to challenge the birthright citizenship thing. All right. They going after everybody, supposedly. They even trying to argue that it only applied to the first generation born here of slaves. And I'm just like, how do y'all not qualify? Why are y'all not seeing pink cave beasts? How you not seeing how you fall into this whole mess too? But anyway, that just made me think they trying to get rid of all the United States citizens. Fine. As long as you're not a citizen, you'll be fine. Are you a member of a temple? Isn't there a prophecy about people being driven into the temple? We're going to need all these secretaries quick, fast, in a hurry. Yeah, that sounds like something that will need to be addressed quick, fast, in a hurry. But back to the Barabbas. Now my main point. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that this message may be spread widely to assist in our mission to normalize Moorish. Okay, give us Barabbas! Coming off of Easter and the death of the demonic pope, right? And now they're about to replace him with Peter the Roman. I love it. The Romans crucified Peter, but go for it. So I'm encouraging Moors to set up businesses because that proves that you can manage people, or you can at least manage yourself, right? You can produce something, right? That might wind you up being put in a position to help others produce something. For instance, you're good at construction. So we're going to make you Minister of the Interior. No, you don't know how to build roads, but you know how to build something. So you might know somebody who does know how to build roads, who knows somebody who could be helping you with that part, right? But are you qualified to be even consulted with that? How do I know that from jump that you're qualified? Okay. Are you positioning yourself to be put in charge of something? Because that's going to become necessary real soon. And I'm putting out the call for people to set up businesses. So that's what they can be put in charge of. Maybe that'll turn into a ministry. Disclaimer, me personally, I'm gunning for the national secretary position. Can you tell? Here's all the paperwork. I'm going to show you how to run it. If you want me to do it, I have a file cabinet. I'll keep track of that for you, just like a Secretary of State. That's what I'm setting myself up for, right? I'm gunning for it slowly. I'm building up to it. What are you doing, right? I know what the Moors I'm working with are doing, and I love what I'm hearing. And I'm putting out the call because, back to the astrology, I'm about to wrap this up. We are entering into the age of Aquarius. Some people say that the death of the American Pope was the end of the age of Pisces. So the age of Aquarius. Oh, it rules, humanity, welfare, the working for the good of all. Not like giving stuff away, but you're working for the good of all to benefit everybody in the society, right? There's also a dark side. You're a technocrat. You want to bring forth what Neo woke up to in the Matrix. That's the shadow side, okay? Only way that's going to happen is if they still have access to the Earth's battery, aka the Americas. All right? We are going to get our stuff back. That's a given. That's going to happen. Can't be avoided. Who's going to be in charge of it though? Is it going to be Rizza Islam? Name somebody. Is it going to be fair use for educational and informational purposes only, because I know how y'all are. Is it going to be Rizza Islam? Name another dude with the bow tie. He's short, right? Who else? What's that guy? The thought leaders. I can't even name these people because who cares, right? I'm just naming the ones that stick out the most because I find them to be the most dangerous and corrupt and the most easily swayed. These folks are already selling out for money. You think they won't sell out for power? The colonists are trying to pull what they pulled in Africa when they got their independence. Oh yeah, we're going to put a face that looks like yours in front of you, but it's really us making all the moves, right? I'm just saying, are you positioning yourself? I know I'm positioning myself. And with that, I think I'm done. If don't nobody have no questions, that's all I got. Thank you all for attending. Okay, that's 30 minutes. Peace and love. I'll be here next Friday at 6 p.m. to discuss news and all that stuff and make announcements. Oh yeah, like I said, I'll be in Arizona next Friday at the Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice kickoff, whatever. At it's gonna be in Phoenix, Arizona, May 9th through 10th, right? And this time, I hopefully I gotta call them. That reminds me, I gotta call them and make sure, like, yeah, can I film up in there so I don't miss my schedule while y'all bringing me my food? All right. Anyway, so that's all I got. Islam, get in touch with me if you got any questions, comments, or concerns at editor@califamedia.com and get your business in order at certifiedmoorish.org. And that's all I got. Peace and love. And I'll check y'all out next week. Bye-bye, y'all.